me tell you, I was listening to, I want to say, that was Tiana Taylor ex-husband, right? He was talking on an interview, and I just seen a snippet of it, and he was saying the best advice that his dad ever gave him. And that advice was that he needed to learn that nobody cares. He was like, once you realize that nobody cares, and baby, when I tell you that's the best advice ever, if you live your life like nobody care, you won't be disappointed. From people who you think supposed to care, or people who say they care, when you find out they really don't give a damn, right? Then you move for you all the time. You know what I'm saying? You always doing what's best for you because you know that don't nobody care enough to help. You understand what I'm saying? So if you have that mentality all the time, like, look at this whole ass nigga here. This truck just pulled out in front of me, bro. 18 wheeler. He just pulled slap out, looked out of there. Yeah, you know they passing out them CDL licenses like 90 going north. People that probably don't even like driving getting behind an 18 wheeler because you know they'll sell their soul, their ass, and everything else for a check and do stuff and put other people's life in danger doing something that they don't even like. You know it's a surplus of truck drivers now, baby. All you got to do is monkey see, monkey do. You know how we are. They see one person doing it and they living good, then all of a sudden everybody want to do it. They saturates every market. I promise you they do. Every market there is, the monkey sees, monkey does, they gonna saturate it. And you'll know it's the monkey sees, monkey does because it don't last long on. Like they'll start a business, the next thing you know the business not popping no more because they just do what everybody else doing. You understand what I'm saying? They don't do what's always been in their heart and all this here stuff. Let me tell you something. When I say, I'm going to show y'all the difference, right? You know, everybody, this is before Uber and Lyft. This was right before Uber and Lyft got real big, right? Right before that. I had met this chick. She owned a limousine company, like a taxi company, taxi service. But she had some nice taxis. And when I tell you she had some nice taxis, she was a chick, right? Like a young girl, younger than me. So, just so happened I had a great BMW then and it had broke. So I was waiting. I actually had flooded it. So my apartment complex was flooded on one side and I didn't know. And I was trying to run to the store before the weather got real bad and my car was low to the ground and it flooded, okay? So by the end, I hadn't had the guy that ended up fixing it. I didn't have him then. I had an old man that was telling me that my car just needed to sit and dry out. But then Heavy came and said, what? And Heavy got the Heavy. Baby, that's the best mechanic in the whole world on foreign cars. I ain't never went to school. Born like it. Born and love working on them. And good. If he tell you he can fix it, he gonna fix it. But anyway, that's in Louisiana. You know, in Houston, everybody want to charge you $5,000 and half of them don't be knowing what the hell they doing anyway. That's why I think I'm just falling so much more in love with the country than I did the city. Because in the city, everybody try to get over on you and they don't know what the hell they be talking about. But anyway, long story short, so that's how I ended up getting in the cab with the lady, right? So I had wanted to meet her when I found out, because one of my little homeboys was like in business with her, so I always knew the chick name, but I had never met her. So just so happened I had worked at UPS during that time. So I had called for the cab to come, right? She came in a bad black car, because all her vehicles was black, right? So I think all of them was black. So anyway, all of them is, because I think the girl still got that company in Louisiana. I ain't been there in a long time since Uber and Lyft kind of took over. So I'm sure, because she was in business with the casinos too, so I'm sure she might still have it. I'm not sure. But anyway, baby, so just so happens she, the owner, came pick me up. So I'm looking at her like, I bet this the chick. So I asked her, was she the owner? You know me, I'm going to ask. If it's something I want to know, I'm going to ask. I'm not ashamed to talk. My mama says she don't meet no strangers. I'm gonna ask you. So look, I asked her, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm the owner." I said, "I've been wanting to meet you for the longest time." I said, "Tell me what made you want to do this? What made you want to have, a cab service?" Baby, when that lady told me that story, that's when I'm talking about something that always be in your heart. She was young. She said her neighbors had a cab company when she was little. And she said just something was always intriguing to her about them damn cabs. She was like, and she said she was going to have her a cab company. Well, as she got bigger, because she seeing how the people running the company and thinking to herself, because the people was like good, but they wasn't good. Like, you know how some people, you know how everybody got street pharmacies in their family, right? So it's kind of intertwined with the business a little bit. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, and Sharon knew that too. You know, everybody knew that. We know the people want. I knew that. Shit, I know the company, name of the company. Anyway, long story short, so she lived next door to them people, and she said just always stay in her mind. And then she told me, she said, so she went to college, you know, she graduated, I think, in social work or something like that, something to that nature, something that didn't have nothing to do with cabs. And honey, she got a degree, and that's what she was doing. She was working there, but she was like, she still was about them cabs. So she said she did the research and all that, and she was married, y'all, and her husband got a lot of money. Well, they got a lot of money now, but he had money then. You know, she wasn't with no broke man. They was middle class people. So anyway, long story short, girl, she said she had ran it past him, and he was just like, no, you know, he wasn't for it. So she told me, she said, but I ain't need this money. I was just running it by him because he was my husband. Y'all, that woman started that business. She said her business, the first day her business was running, her husband had booked them a trip out the country. She said her first cab was on the road, and she was on a flight with her husband, not knowing that she had started the business. She said her nerves was so bad, girl, I was laughing. She had me rolling. I said, I bet he is so proud of you now, not listening to you. She said, yeah, he be saying, babe, you win. That was in her heart, and she said she knew she could do it, and she did not need his money. And that girl did it, and she was a success. You know, he got money, they got money. Now they invest in clubs and stuff like that. They had a club, they had the cut. Like she said she knew in her heart she could do it, and she always wanted to do it. That's what I be talking about when I say people, like when something is on a person, like in them, that's their heart's desire. Now other people, they see it, all they thinking about is, oh, she can make a lot of money doing this. Oh, she make a lot of money. Not really knowing the girl's story. The girl always wanted to do that, even when she was too young to even know about money. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't had nothing. I mean, she was a little girl. She wasn't thinking about, okay, I'm going to need this much money or whatever. She just was intrigued with the business of it, like picking people up. Like she just said all her life. It just kept sticking with her. She couldn't shake it. And that's what, like, she went to college, she still couldn't shake it. That girl told me that. That's how you should be moving. Like what's inside you, not what you see another person do. That's why I be so disgusted, bro. I can't stand that. Like, I don't know. I'm just blessed to have the daddy that I have. I'm telling you, because I would ask him all the time, Daddy, what you want me to be when I grow up? And that man would tell me every time, whatever it is you want to be, baby. And I used to say to him, what if I wanted to be a prostitute? He say, be the best prostitute you ever could be. And because I used to try to say the wildest stuff just to see if he'd be like, no, I don't want you to do that. He would never, no matter what I said I wanted to be. If I said I wanted to be a sharpshooter, he said, be a good sharpshooter. That's why whatever it is that I do, I make sure I do it good. So people be mad. They be like, oh, she thinks she all that. It's not that. My daddy just told me, whatever you do, do it to the best that you can. And I listen to that. See, the problem is y'all ain't no daddies.